Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025, and I'm so happy you are joining me tonight. I have a very special episode for you. Tonight, I'm revealing the March 2025 bonus project kit. So every month I do a new kit and feature a different suite or designer paper, and you can earn this kit. Well, there's three ways you can get the kit. You can earn the kit by placing a $40 order in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Or if you're a team member, you can subscribe to get my kits for the crazy low price of $5 a month. Or you can wait and get the kits the month after they're released, and you can buy past kits at juliedavison.com/kits. So if you go there, you're going to see last month's kit, which I should have had, I do have right here. Last month's kit featuring the mixed media floral. Oh, I love the way these cards turned out. So this kit is now available for you at juliedavison.com/kits, as well as all of the 2024 kits and January of 2025, which featured, what was January? Oh, Friends of the Ocean. I love that one. So check it out. The link is in the video description as well. I'll be adding the PDF for last month's kit to my Etsy shop as well this weekend. So check that out. Tonight I'll be showing you the March kit. So if you want to get this kit for free, make sure you order from me by Monday, March 31st, 2025 to get the kit I'm showing you tonight. Say hi when you jump on. I'm so happy you're here. We are in the January through April 2025 mini catalog for today. And the suite that I'm featuring is the Floral Delight Suite. I love these spring flowers, and now that it is officially spring, it makes me happy to use these bright and sunny colors. Today it was a bit cloudy and overcast, so these yellows really did make me happy as I was playing. This suite, the Floral Delight Suite, the January catalog, includes a bundle, the Delightful Wishes bundle, that has the large wishing as well as different sentiments to include underneath that. Wishing you were here, wishing you all the best, wishing you a happy birthday, wishing you lots of love, wishing you well. There's also some floral images, some two-step, and we're going to use all of them in the cards today, so you're going to get to see those in action. If you get the bundle that has the coordinating dies, it has dies, a lot of dies, that die cut the stamp images, as well as having some detail dies that layer together to make some beautiful florals. There's a large branch, there's a skinny little label, and there's a wishing die. So you can die cut the detailed wishing and put that on the kind of outline, or you can use the outline to die cut the stamped wishing. Let me show you a card that I've made that really showcases these dies beautifully. You can see the detailed layer dies here, the dies that die cut the stamped image, and the wishing and the label underneath. This really is such a beautiful suite. I would love to know, yay or nay, do you have it? Or do you love it? Let me know what you think about the Floral Delight Suite. Now this suite has two different designer papers. One of them I'll be featuring in the kit is the Floral Delight designer paper. This is a 12 by 12 paper with double-sided designs. The designer paper includes two of each sheet. And it is currently low inventory. Since this is the January through April mini catalog, it's very possible that this designer paper may sell out. So if you are wanting to get this designer paper, it may not come back in stock. So make sure that you order right away. The little bee trinkets, this is such a cute part of the suite. These are back in stock. They were gone for a little while, but they're back. They're so teeny tiny and so perfect to embellish your project. They're not as big as the bee trinkets we've had in the past, and so I think that they're somewhat mailable with a little cushion or a non-machinable stamp. Michelle said she was waiting to see what I would do with it. I have so many samples. This suite is so beautiful. The other part of this suite is the Daffodil Delight ribbon. The one, I think it's 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, 1/8 of an inch. And this is so gorgeous too. I've used it on some of my samples, and I didn't use it on any of the cards in the kit, but I feel like you could easily, if you love ribbon, add some ribbon to all the cards. Now, the other designer paper is actually the one that I used on the background here. It's a vellum, the Delightful Floral, Floral and Gingham vellum. It comes with 3 different patterns, and I love that they're kind of have some like opaque color on them. This one actually will die cut with the dies. That's super fun. It die cuts all the little flowers. It die cuts these and the leaves as well. So if you wanted to really get fussy and detail die cut your vellum, you could. So we've got designer paper, we've got vellum, we've got stamps, we've got ribbon, we've got bead trinkets. I just love the look of it. Like I said, let me show you some more samples to inspire you, and then we're going to get into our card kit. So I'm going to put these in here so I've got so much going on the desk. Okay, look at that. I have lots of inspiration before we get started. Here's one that I made during our 12 Days of Christmas video series, and I used the detail die here to create a template that I did sparkly embossing paste with. So I kind of did a fun little background there on the back of the stamp. This is Pool Party. I stamped a little pool party in there as well. And actually this layout was one that I was inspired by the catalog. I often am inspired by the catalog, and so this actually was inspired by this card here. So I did a similar focal point, but I added some designer paper, put it on a colored background, and added the embossing paste to that background. All right, well, I'm seeing several of you saying that you have this suite. I hope that you feel inspired, because after all these card projects, you hopefully will get it out tonight and start making some cards. Here's an alternative project that I made during my Creating With You in Mind class. So this was the same layout that I shared in the class, and I just made one with this stamp set and designer paper. Love the way that turned out. In fact, that wishing you all the best is something that I'm using on another card today. Here's one from Gwen Duckworth, and she used a different sentiment that she has. It says, "In case you need me, I'm here," with a little die cut butterfly and some designer paper for the circle. I'm loving all the yellows. It just reads so sunshine. This one is from Kay Kaltoff. Similar layout here. She's got a rectangular focal point. I love how the stamp matches the coordinating designer paper. Such a great card from Kay. This one is from Heather Trudeau. She made this for our team swap at On Stage, and I just love the little fun fold here. She's got a smaller mini card. Oh no, actually it's a Z fold. I forgot. This is so much fun. She kind of cut the sides off here, so she's got a tab, and then this bit is on the front of that, and she used the With You in Mind stamp set for the image. So love that card from Heather. So much fun the way it shows off all the different designer paper. She said she cased this one from Paper Pixie. Awesome, awesome. Here's an on-stage swap I got, and I don't have a name on it, so I can't give credit. This one uses all the detail dies. We got some peach pie with lemon lolly in there, and the die cut wishing. Such detail here, so beautiful. Wishing you a happy birthday. Here's a card from Betsy Kreider, and I love this layout. She's got lemon lolly for the card base. It looks like Daffodil Delight for the layer, and then 4 squares of designer paper that are, I'm gonna guess, 1.5 by 1.5. A little stylish shaped circle with the detailed dies, and the little bee inside the center of the flower. Isn't that a great layout? This is definitely one to case. Mom and I shared the Floral Delight Suite back in a Sunday stamping video, I think at the beginning of January, and she created this fun little tent card with a little fold back there in the front, some of the designer paper and stamping. So here you can see how this die cuts. It actually die cuts several different pieces for the flowers. Here is another card from Betsy Kreider, and she used the Dashing Designs. I was going to call it the paper towel embossing folder. It looks like a paper towel, doesn't it? The Dashing Designs embossing folder. Spotlight on Nature dies. I heard a rumor that they're retiring, but we won't know for sure until the last chance list is revealed, which should be on Tuesday, April 1st. So pay attention for that coming up next week. There's going to be discounts on things that are retiring, and that will appear in the last chance list. And I have a feeling the list is going to be kind of big, so that means there should be lots of discounts on a lot of favorite things. So make sure to get your order in by Monday for the March kit, and then make sure to check out the online store Tuesday for all those last chance deals. Here's a card from Erin Scott, and she made use of some designer paper and some of the vellum for this sentiment, which says, "Wishing you well." I like how she used the little bees as the little dots for the eyes. Is that just cute? I love that so much. And then last card is from Bonnie O'Neill, and she also used the With You in Mind stamp set for the thank you. And I love the way that leaf from that stamp set coordinates with this designer paper. So lovely. All right, are you guys ready to see our March project designs? I had a lot of fun designing with this stamp set and with this designer paper. Now, if you're not familiar with my monthly project kits, this is how they come. You're going to get 3 different card packets with pre-cut cardstock, and you'll also get a little cello bag, which includes a sampling of designer paper. Now, as many of you know, the host code is going away in April. In fact, we have just another week and a half or so, two weeks. Two-ish weeks of the host code left. And so I'm having to change my project kits a little bit. March is going to include some embellishments, but moving forward with the April kit, it will only include designer paper. It will not include embellishments because the embellishments were paid for with the host rewards from the host code. I also paid for a lot of the kit with that, so we're making a few other changes. I'll be sending communication very soon to all of my customers about customer rewards program, which is going to change because Stampin' Up is taking over the Stampin' Rewards and rewarding you for every single purchase over $20. So I'm really excited about that change. Is it 20 or 25? Anyway, stay tuned for some details. The kits, we're still going to have them. They're still going to include a back pocket card layout. They're just not going to include embellishments. But I know all of you have a whole box of embellishments at home, and so I'm sure that you'll be able to embellish all of your projects in our future upcoming kits for 2025. But this kit will have some of my very favorite, the ribboned pecan pie and clear dots. These are so versatile and go with so many things, and I love that they have such a low profile. So our designer paper sampler is 4x6 pieces of this beautiful designer paper, and I showed it to you earlier. You're going to get all those awesome patterns to mix and match and cut apart to use on our cards. You know what? I didn't use this one for cutting these beautiful flowers, but you totally could. I love designer paper that has images to cut from. We're going to do some stamping though. And so I designed the cards today with the Delightful Wishes stamp set, but I always try to design cards so that if you don't have the exact same stamp set, you could still make the same cards at home. So if you don't have this one, I'm sure you have another flower stamp set that looks really similar. So you can use similar colors and use whatever stamps you have at home to create your cards. So let's dig in with our first card. This is going to be the one that has the back pocket card layout. I need to get that ordered tomorrow. If you're not familiar with the back pocket card layouts, welcome to my channel. There is a new back pocket card layout every single month. It is a postcard designed with a card layout measurements, and on the back side, 2 different full color samples of ideas using that layout. And so the idea is that you can collect them, put them on a ring, or however you want to collect them, and that they can be a tool of inspiration in your card making. And so these are all the cards that we've had over the last 2.5 years. There have been a few special edition ones, like for my Creating With You in Mind card class. And actually, I have some card kits left over from the Creating With You in Mind card class. And so if you were not able to participate in that earlier, it's not too late. You can still get that card kit. And that's going to be at the same place where the other kits are. So juliedavison.com/kits. You'll be able to get the Creating With You in Mind card kit that has the back pocket card layouts, and actually the pouch for the 2024 card layouts is also on that same page if you haven't gotten that yet. I love this tool, and I'm excited to continue providing back pocket card layouts in the monthly kits this year in 2025. So this will be the layout for the back pocket card layout. I haven't gotten it printed, so I'm just reusing another one there. The colors here, Pool Party and Daffodil Delight. I also decided to punch from the Bow Punch, and I'm having a feeling, I don't know anything, but I'm just having a feeling that the Bow Punch may be retiring. Oh, I really hope not, because I love this punch. It has both of those images there, and it is just so versatile. I find that it goes with so many things just to add a little punched accent. And so I'm including an old olive and a daffodil piece for you, as well as a 1 3/4 inch pecan pie circle. And we're gonna cut a little designer paper here. Actually, we're gonna cut 2 different designer paper pieces. The first piece is going to be this paper. I wanted to tie in some of that blue, and so I'm bringing in this one that has the blue dots. And then we're also going to use the green paper. I guess that's why I didn't cut one out, because I cut them apart. So we're going to cut some strips with the green. We're going to cut a focal point here with the other designer paper. And I need to just take a quick measurement of my sample. The focal point card piece is going to be 2 1/4 by 3 inches. And then we're going to do 1 by 4 1/2 for the green. So let's get our paper trimmer out and cut these pieces together. So for the focal point, it's going to be 3 inches tall by 2 1/4. Okay, so we've got that, and it's going to layer onto the Daffodil Delight piece, which is 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. We'll save these aside for potentially another project. And then we're going to cut the green, and I'm going to cut, well, I'll cut the 1 inch. No, I'm going to cut 1 inch off and we'll save that for another project. Then I'm going to take the remaining 3 inches. I'm going to cut it at 4 1/2, double checking my measurement, 4 1/2. And then we'll save that as well. Then I'm going to cut 1 inch pieces. So these are 1 inch by 4 1/2 inches. And we've got 3 of those, like that. Jean is asking, is it possible to still get the back pocket card layouts? And the answer is yes. The 2024 collection of back pocket card layouts is available at the juliedavison.com/kits. I think the 2025 kits are on top of that page, and then you'll find the back pocket card layouts and the Creating With You in Mind card kit under that. Now, this card doesn't have a lot of stamping since we're using designer paper as the focal point, but we are going to stamp a little bit on the inside, and of course we're going to stamp our sentiment. So for the front, we're going to do the words in pecan pie, and a lot of these words were meant to coordinate with the wishing, but on this card I'm not going to use the large wishing, so I'm just choosing some of the words that kind of go okay without. So I chose lots of love for this card, and I'm sure you have lots of other little greetings that you can use. So if you don't have this stamp set, you can substitute another little greeting stamp. Now for the inside, I want to do some stamping. I'm going to do that 2-step image right here. This actually is a 4-step image because we've got 2 steps for the flower, we've got the stem and the leaves as well. And we're going to stamp the same image on our next card too. So we're going to use the same colors, but for this one, we're going to do it on the inside. So we're going to start with, I don't know if it's better to start, I think it's best to start with the flowers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the flowers, and I'm doing the bold image with Lemon Lolly. So let's do that, the big image. And then we're going to add some details with a Daffodil Delight. Now, if you don't have Lemon Lolly, you could easily just stamp off on your Daffodil Delight, or you could use another color like crushed curry and stamp off to get the details, or use crushed curry and Daffodil Delight. Just lining those up. I just love that little detail that it adds. Now here's where we're going to get our, bring in our stem. I'm using pecan pie, and the stem kind of has like, yeah, a big spot right there where there's no stem. So it sort of breaks itself up, and you can kind of see how it fits in there once you have the flowers down. Look at that. Perfection. Once you have the stem, it also makes more sense as to where to put the leaves. And so we're going to add the leaves in here in Old Olive. And with these builder stamps, we are building our image one stamp at a time to have that beautiful multicolored image. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Michelle is asking, did the team get the creating with you in mind back pocket card layouts? And yes, my team gets all back pocket card layouts, even if they don't subscribe to the project kits. All 3 levels of my team get all of the back pocket card layouts, even the special edition ones like the class. So Michelle, there was a separate envelope that came through with the back pocket card layouts for the class. If you can't find yours, I can send you another set. But yes, everyone did. There was an envelope that went out to everybody. All right, let's put this card together. Aren't these images just so beautiful? I wasn't sure about bringing in the blue. It kind of felt bright, but I think it breaks up the yellow and green and brown a little bit. And so I'm excited. There's also some blue in one of the other designer papers. And so as a set, I think the blue really goes well with all the other ones. So this is going to go right inside. My white piece is always 4 by 5 1/4. And then for the front, I'm going to add the green strips of designer paper in the center. So let's do that. And whenever I'm doing 3s like this, I like to start in the middle, and I just kind of eyeball it. But if you wanted to, you could get a ruler out, you could mark the center of your card, both directions, and you could be a lot more, particular about making sure that's right at 2 1/8. And gosh, I think that is. But I just like to eyeball it. So I start with the center, and then I kind of lay the other ones on either side and try to evenly space them. And one tip that I have when you're putting down like a trio of panels is like not to push down really hard on the adhesive until you have it just right. So if you need to kind of scooch it or pick it up, you have some room to move it around. So I'm going to have it just where I want it, and then after everything looks straight and even, I will kind of push down to finish adhering all the layers together. Next up, we're going to layer the designer paper onto Daffodil Delight. And here I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals to add this to the card. I like to go 1 in each corner and then 1 or 2 in the middle, depending on how long it is. This is going to go right in the center of those panels. Looking good already. We're going to add our little focal point here. And I find that with these detailed pieces, a little bit of liquid glue kind of is the easiest way sometimes to just get that on there. So it's going to go across, and we'll add some liquid glue. And this one too. For our sentiment, I'm going to do a little snip, add an angle, and then I'll add that on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Hello, Colleen from Australia. What time is it there? Must be, I always am off a little bit. It's the morning, right? So good morning. Let's add that. And since I like to limit myself to 2 layers of dimensionals, and I've got one under the sentiment and one under the designer paper already, I'm gonna add this one on with just some regular Stampin' Seal right there in the bottom right corner. I love the way all those colors kind of sing together. So there's our final card. Now on my other sample, I'm just gonna bring it in because I like the way the designer paper had more of the flowers there. So you might think about that as you're cutting your designer paper to make sure that you get a lot of flowers in your design. And on this one, I added 2 of the pecan pie dots, which are going to be included in your kit. Now I know that some of you like to add 3, but I find that sometimes the circle or that focal element acts as the 3rd, and that's just my personal preference. So if you want to add a 3rd, knock yourself out. Maybe it would go over here or down here, but I find 1, 2, 3 works for me. So there is our first card, and this is the one, oops, this one has the, this one has the, we'll put it like this, the inside. Isn't that image pretty? I like the way it coordinates with the designer paper. And so this will be your new back pocket card layout. So I'm excited about that. I'll get that ordered up for you tomorrow. And it'll be all ready to send out with the kits in the next week or 2. Our next card is going to use the same floral image from the stamps. And we have a pecan pie card base. Like I said, I like to really use a lot of color in my cards. I definitely don't shy away from color. So we've got pool party, a pecan pie, and our last card's going to be old olive. This one we're going to do some stamping on the focal point for the front. We're also going to do a little stamping on the inside, and we're going to use some designer paper. So let's get that piece out next. Our designer paper for this card is this one, and on the next card we're going to use this one and a little bit of the gingham from the other side of here. So we want to make sure that we be careful when we're cutting so that we are good for our next card. So let's cut that piece right now. For this piece, we are going to cut a piece that is 1 3/4. So I'm going to cut 1 3/4, save that for the next card, and then I'm going to cut 5 1/2. So this is 1 3/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And then I also, before I put this away, I need a little bit of some other designer paper. And I'm going to use, these are scraps from the first card. I'm going to use a little bit of that yellow, and I'm going to use some of the green. And so I'm not sure exactly the measurements I need here, but I think if I go with 2 1/2, that will be enough. So this is 1 by 2 1/2, and this one is going to be 3/4. And I'll go 2 1/2 too, but I know I'm going to end up cutting some off. So we're going to have 2 little strips there that we're going to use for banners. Okay, so those are the pieces that we need for this card. And let's start with our stamping. We are going to use the large wishing. And for this card, it's going to say, wishing you all the best. We're going to stamp that in pecan pie. And you want to stamp kind of towards the bottom right corner. So I got to make sure there's room for the G. And then I'm going to do all the best also in pecan pie. And for the inside, I'm kind of thinking we could do a happy birthday if we wanted to. We're going to do this on the last card, but I'll go ahead and do it on this card too. The original stamp says you a happy birthday because it's meant to go with the wishing. But if you strategically ink, then you can get just the happy birthday. Okay, I'm feeling like it would be really pretty to do a little designer paper down here. I would like that a lot. let's cut some more designer paper. I was debating whether we should stamp on the inside, but we're going to stamp on the front. Now, I did tell you we're going to use this piece for the last card. So the last card, we need this piece to be 1 7/8 inch. And so that doesn't leave us a whole lot of designer paper. So this is what we need for the next card. If you want to, then use this tiny little sliver on the inside of this card. You can add that to the bottom. And you could always substitute a different designer paper, or you could do a little stamping on the inside. Leave a comment, let me know, how do you decorate the inside of your card? Do you add designer paper? Do you stamp? Or do you leave it blank? I was just talking with a team member about some swaps, and she got a lot of them that were blank inside and didn't have any stamped inside. And I was saying, like, a lot of people just don't stamp the inside of their cards. So tell me, do you stamp your inside to coordinate, or do you leave it blank, or do you add designer paper or some other inside element? Let me know in the comments. See, a question, is this the kit for orders we placed in March? Yes, it is. This is the March 2025 bonus project kit. And if you order by March 31st, which is Monday, then you will receive this kit as your special monthly perk. So let's start here. We're going to stamp those same flowers from earlier. We're going to do the solid flowers first. I'm kind of angling them here to the right so that I have room for the whole flower. We're going to do the same thing we did earlier with Lemon Lolly, and then we're going to add a Daffodil Delight detail on top. And eyeballing it. I have just kind of certain points that I match up. And like, for example, this stamp has a little flower at the top, and so right here there's like a little detail for that flower, and so I kind of like use that one as my guide, and then some of the edges of the flowers to guide me as to where to stamp. So that's just a tip there. Now, because we've got the words in the pecan pie, I don't really want to add a stem in pecan pie because I don't want to have that stem kind of crossing over the words. So we're gonna keep the stem out, but we are gonna add some of the leaves. And I will warn you, the leaves are a little trickier to line up without the stem as the positioning guide. So just do your best to add some stems in there. Some of the leaves do look like they're floating a bit. You could leave them off if you want and just do the flowers, but I kind of liked bringing some of that green into the card. All right, let's get our card put together. We did our stamping. We're gonna layer the white onto the Daffodil Delight. I love that. Melissa says she's been trying to embellish the insides of her card to match and also to decorate the envelope too. That's always something I tend to forget about because I'm not usually stamping with the envelopes at the same time. I have been tonight. I should have been stamping them to match. But typically I stamp my cards and then the envelopes come later, and so sometimes it's kind of an afterthought. For this card, I'm going to add that designer paper about 1/2 inch from the bottom of the card. It looks like I was just a little long. I'm going to trim that off. And then our focal point is going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And here's where I might add 2 in the middle if it is a little bit longer like this one is. I do think that it looks more finished to have everything coordinating and matching especially having like the envelope to match. Like, I think that's such a fun little like sneak peek of what's coming inside the envelope. Though we were just talking about that. Where were we talking about? Oh, I was doing a presentation for some Canadian demonstrators, and they were talking about how there's a big issue, and I don't know if it happens here as much, but maybe it doesn't. I'm just not aware. They were saying that they're often told not to stamp on their envelopes because then it kind of is a signal for people that there's something special inside. And so there is a problem there where people will open up the envelopes and just like slice open the side and take out any money or gift cards or something like that that is sent in the card. And so I never even thought about that having a pretty envelope would make it appear as though there is something special inside, because there is something special inside. So my answer to that is just to stamp all of your envelopes, even your bills. I don't know if that would thwart anybody. I think that in general, the envelope size is what sticks out as this is something special. Cards do look different than bills and letters. I am stamping, I'm not stamping, I'm cutting a little banner tip on these 2 pieces of designer paper. So we're going to make a couple little designer paper banners to go in the corner of this card. And I want them to kind of be staggered a little bit. They're going to go off the side and I'm going to cut there. But I just kind of wanted to add a little bit of color to what's happening over here. So I guess you could make that smaller, but I like the way the banners kind of hang over that. So that's why it is a little bit longer. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. Because the focal point is on Stampin' Dimensionals, I want the top of the banners to match up as far as the height of the piece, but the rest of it is going to hang over the cardstock and kind of be even with that. So I'm going to put my dimensionals, 3 of them, right here in the corner. Uh-oh, we're getting blurry again. We'll see. If it doesn't get better, I will turn off the Wi-Fi again. That helped last time. Oh no. My friend says her own envelopes with DSP, or she makes her own envelopes, and they've often been late or lost. And she is getting feedback that the digital equipment at the post office gets confused by the pattern envelope. I could see that. All right, I added a little bit of adhesive to the ends of the banner, and then the top of it is going to stick to that dimensional. And so I do want to make sure I have a little breathing room here from the words. And I'm going to stagger those like that. And then we're just going to cut. So a little bit long, you probably could get away with 2 inches, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough. So here's our finished card. Wishing you the best. Of course, we want to add some bling. I'm going to turn to those ribboned dots again, and I'm going to add some pecan pie. And one down here. Kind of around that focal point. Now, I don't know, do you think the brown looks okay? I used brown on all my cards, and if you wanted something a little bit more subtle, you could use the white ones. I guess I do use the brown ones more than the white. I was going to say, I thought it was the opposite, but I don't know, I guess not. Either way, you could use whatever you'd like. Oh, Tony, I'm so sorry to hear you're not feeling great, and I hope that you get some rest and feel better soon. All right, there's our second card. We've got another one coming, but tell me what you think of these 2 so far. Are you feeling inspired with this with this stamp set and designer paper? Our last card is a fun fold card, and it's actually one that I have shared before, but I really love it, and I wanted to share it again. So you might remember, I never did post any pictures of it, but I did do a video back in January, I think. And so this might look familiar, but I hope you don't mind seeing it again. It's a fun one. We're going to cut our designer paper. We're using this one that has a little bit of that pool party in the background. So see, it's going to match our other cards and the yellow gingham, which we started cutting already. So let's get our paper trimmer out, and we're going to cut this one down. We already got 1 7/8 inch, and we're going to cut it to 5 1/4. And then we're going to cut this piece to 5 1/4. Save that if you'd like for another card. And we're going to cut 2 pieces at 1 7/8 inch. So we've got 1 and 2 with another little tiny sliver to use for something else. So now we have 3 pieces of designer paper that are 1 7/8 inch. And we also have a piece of white cardstock that is 1 7/8 inch. And they are going to be kind of the 4 panels on our Z-fold card. So this is a regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. I scored it at 4 1/4, and then also at, I want to go this way. 4 1/4, and then also at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Essentially, I fold it in half and in half again, so you get the Z fold. So 2 1/8, 4 1/4, those are your 2 score lines. And so I've created kind of 4 different panel areas that these pieces are going to go in. We're going to add the designer paper like that, and this piece is going to be for the inside. There'll be not a lot of room to write, but enough to say hello and I love you. And so let's set that aside, and we'll do our stamping. For the front, I need your advice here, friends. I am going to have a little mini card in the front, and it's either going to have a pecan pie base or a Daffodil Delight. And I'm kind of torn back and forth. I like the contrast, I think, of the pecan pie. We're going to have a sentiment with blue cardstock that comes across. Let's do our stamping, and you guys can kind of see what that is going to look like, and then you can help me vote. So your card kit will only include one of them, and it's really just going to be depending on which one you guys help me decide tonight. So you have some power. Let's get out our grid paper and our stamps. We are going to use the other flower in this stamp set, the smaller one here. It's also a 2-step stamp. And then we're going to use this leaf and also this little center. And I think it's kind of big for one flower, so I'm just going to use one corner of it, although I did use this stamp as kind of a background piece on let's see, this card. I stamped all 3 of those dots kind of with the blue. So I think it doesn't have to be the center of the flower, but I did use it for that. So let's get out our same colors. All the cards tonight are using Old Olive, pecan pie, Daffodil Delight, and lemon lolly. So we're going to do the same things here. Although, like I said, there's a lot of colors in here. You could easily switch out and do a crushed curry, maybe even like a pumpkin pie with some of the darker colors. But I'm using lemon lolly and Daffodil Delight. So I'm just going to use the same on all the cards tonight. So let's start with the big bold image. For the front, I'm going to do 3 flowers. I'm going to kind of make a little triangle with them. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. For the inside of the small card, I'm going to do 1 in the corner, and down in the bottom of the big one, I'm going to do 1 in the corner. And then we're going to add the detail with Daffodil Delight. And this one I found to be a bit tricky with how it lines up. I'm not really sure. You know what? And I also am not sure that it matters because every time I do it, it always looks like it's just right. I'm trying to look for like the lineup points, the touch points, but I'm just going to go with it. Now let's add our leaves. And I'm using that big bold leaf. Do 2 on that flower and then 1 down here and 1 over here. And for our words, let's do happy birthday on the front and lots of love on the inside. The lots of love might be the only stamp that fits on the inside. So if you want to have some inside words, that's a good choice. You don't have to have the inside words. And then the happy birthday, we're going to do the same thing that we were talking about earlier, where we just strategically ink just the happy birthday. And we're going to stamp that in the center of the pool party cardstock strip. This is just a 1/2 inch. A 1/2 inch width strip. Okay. Your votes have been tallied officially. No, I didn't really count them, but most of you said brown, that you like the pecan pie. And I think I agree. I think the contrast, looks good. I have one with the yellow, so I will show you when we're all done what the yellow looks like, and you can decide if you are making this at home and you want to switch out the colors because you don't like the brown. This piece is 2.5 by 5, scored at 2.5. So it is a 2.5 inch square mini card. And the layer on the front is 2.25. And the layer inside is the same, 2.25. Now, I can't remember where I originally saw this card. It might have been a swap card that I got for the Great Big Card Swap, because I'm always so inspired by those cards. So this card idea originally came from someone else, and I just don't remember because I don't have the card anymore. But I think it's such a clever idea. So our little mini card is going to kind of hold down the Z-fold, and so it kind of has a fun little tuck to it. And I'm going to have the happy birthday go across like this, and we'll use a couple dimensionals. Happy birthday. Oh, I remembered. I like they look so naked because they need a brown center. So I'm going to use dots for the center of the front ones. And on the inside, you could use another dot there too if you'd like, but I think I'm going to do that stamp that we were talking about. So again, I'm going to strategically ink just that one and stamp the other flowers. So on the front we have the gems, on the inside we have the stamped center. Okay, let's get this card put together. All of our layers, we're going to add those with some Stampin' Seal. Uh-oh, I think I just ran out. Okay. to start with this designer paper in the panel. And then the next one is the white cardstock inside. Then the blue flower paper again, kind of centering from the side, and then over here, centering in that space. So we have like what looks like 4 panels, a nice little Z-fold card. When it's closed, you just see the 2. Oh, thank you so much for the thumbs up, you guys. I love it. If you are enjoying tonight's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, so next up we're going to add this little card, and we're going to do this with some Stampin' Dimensionals, kind of so that we can match when this is closed. It has some like extra height, and so we want to add the Stampin' Dimensionals on this side to kind of match the height of the Z-fold when it's closed. And so only on half, because the other part is going to tuck underneath. I remember when we did this card, I was like, top or bottom? I like it better on the bottom. Tell me what you guys think, though. I'm going to do it up here because the other sample has, I don't know, or right in the middle. I keep going back and forth. Tell me what you guys think. Top, bottom, bottom. Middle-ish, top, middle, wherever I want. If it were that easy. Oh my goodness. I never know what I want. Let's go top this time. Several of you are saying top, and my other one is towards the bottom, so you can see what that looks like too. All right, so here's the card, and this little card in the front is like a little sneak peek, and then when you open the Z-fold, it opens the other area where you can write. Isn't that fun? I love it. So it kind of just tucks under there, holds it closed, and then pops open. All right, we took a little vote on the pecan pie. This is what the pecan pie looks like, and here is the version with, here it is, with the Daffodil Delight. So on this one, I stamped instead of used the dots. I should have stamped this one a little bit more higher because I think it fills it out a lot better. I was like overcompensating on my angle of the happy birthday to make up for the flower being so off. So when you stamp, do your flowers a little higher. Here, the bottom ones are fine, but do it a little higher across the top. Okay, so do you prefer, now that you see them both, the pecan or the daffodil? I think that I like that pecan has more, what was I saying, more contrast. And then do you like it high or do you like it low? Now that you see them both. I mean, truly, either way, right? Oh, I'm so glad you love all the cards, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for that comment. Let me show you all of them again. Again, this is the March 2025 bonus project kit. So if you order $40 or more before tax and shipping in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop, then you're going to get this bonus project kit for me for your March order. So thank you in advance to everyone who has ordered and to everyone who will. And I will work on getting these card kits out. I've got to order the back pocket card layout, so it's probably going to be the second week of March. I will shoot for, or I'm sorry, April. The week of April 7th, I will shoot to get these all in the mail to you. So if you have ordered from me in March, or if you will order, that's when you can expect that kit to come in the mail. And I just sent out thank you cards for February, a little bit late, so sorry about that. I kind of got behind with on stage, but they're all in the mail for February. All right, you guys, that's it for me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this little class featuring the Floral Delight designer paper, and I hope that you feel inspired. If you have this already at home, I hope that you will get it out and play with it and create some beautiful cards. And if you don't have it already, you can get it online in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Or you can use all of the stacks of paper that you have at home and the stamps that you have at home and create similar cards using the same layouts. I hope you feel inspired. Thanks for stopping by to watch my video. And again, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future card making videos like Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. We have a very special episode planned for you this coming week. On Sunday, March 30th, we're doing a stamp along video. So cut your cardstock and get ready to stamp along with us. We are using Retiring in Colors and the With You in Mind stamp set, my million sales inspired stamp set. I'm really excited to showcase that a little bit more for you. All right, that's it. Have a great night. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.